Hold up.
How deep can we go? 'Cause you're pulling me straight down.
Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. Today I wanted to do a coffee chat on motivation and inspiration, how to motivate yourself and stay inspired when maybe in your life your motivation and inspiration is lacking. I wanted to make this video because it rings true for me right now, and I know exactly how it feels to be unmotivated and be uninspired, and really know that deep down you want to be inspired but you're just struggling. So that's why I wanted to make this video today. I hope you'll sit there and drink a cup of coffee or a cup of tea with me, and we'll talk about how to stay inspired and how to stay motivated when you're struggling the most. My first tip is to remember why you're here. Why are you here in the first place? For example, I have been through a long journey of being in school since 2010, so it's 2017 right now. Just at the end of this year I'm going to be finishing my master's degree, so it's been a long road to becoming a dietitian, and it hasn't been easy. I know that a lot of things out there, a lot of different degrees, a lot of different paths are going to have the same type of struggle. So this is why I wanted to make a video like this for people who really want to be motivated but aren't feeling that true motivation, and they want to know how to feel inspired. When I feel uninspired, I look back and reflect, why am I here? What is the purpose of being here? Why am I going through this struggle? And when I look back on it, I remember why I started, I remember what got me to this path, and then I start to feel re-inspired, and I start to remember everything that is worthwhile takes a little bit of time. We just have to get through those struggles. Everything is a struggle. There's a quote from a book that I read a little bit ago. Elizabeth Gilbert, she is the author of Big Magic, and this is all about how to be creative and how to express your creativity. Like inspirational books, it just helps you get in the mindset of creating and just creating shamelessly. But anyway, her quote is, every single path in your life is going to be a shit sandwich. Everything's going to have its own shit sandwich. If you're a doctor, you're going to have a shit sandwich. If you're a mechanic, you're going to have a shit sandwich. If you're a dietitian, you're gonna have a shit sandwich. If you're a teacher, you're gonna have a shit sandwich. No matter what you do in life or what path you choose, you're going to have a struggle. And so you might as well do what you love, and you might as well do it shamelessly. And I had classes like math and history and stuff like that that had nothing to do with what I wanted to do in life. I would always look back and say, how does this relate to where I want to be and what I want to do? For example, for math, in the future as a dietitian, I will be calculating calorie needs and calculating maybe tube feeding needs if I am going to work in a hospital, or different things related to fat, carbohydrates, protein grams are in someone's diet. I related that to my future, and then it inspired me to stay focused and get through math even though I didn't love it. Now you might be asking, like, what do you do for something that isn't related whatsoever to your goals? Say it's history class and you have no motivation for history whatsoever. I just look at that class and say, well, history has nothing to do with dietetics really, but I can say that if I get through this class and I get a good grade, it's gonna affect me in the future, because then maybe it's gonna affect my GPA, and then my better GPA is gonna get me into a better graduate school and a better internship, and that's how this relates. Long story short, always focus on why you're here and relate what you're doing now to what you want in the future. My next piece of advice is to keep a schedule, and this can be in your phone or in a planner. I like to have a mixture of both. I use sticky notes, I use planners, I use my phone. I'm a little bit of an excessive planner, but strong suit and also my weakness sometimes. The benefit of a planner and spelling out your schedule is that, ironically, it gives you more freedom. You may think that keeping a schedule is more restricting, but actually you're able to spell out your whole day, and when you're able to do that, you can see the gaps in your schedule and where you have free time. You're able to do the things that you love. So when you spell out your schedule, you see where the gaps lie and you see where you can put in time for you or put in time for your creative needs and your creative outlets. My next goal is to break down your goals into smaller objectives. And what an objective is how you're going to get to your goal. So you're going to set yourself specific objectives to meet your big picture goals. If you wanted to be a doctor, obviously you can't just go from wanting to be a doctor to being a doctor. You want to apply for school first, get accepted into school, get good grades in school, and to graduate, and then get accepted to medical school. There's many steps from the point of wanting to be a doctor to being a doctor. But the point is that there's going to be several steps along the way that you're going to need to put in your mind and say, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to reach this small goal, and it's going to help me get to the bigger picture goal. And one thing to keep in mind is that everything that is worth your time takes time. Even if being a doctor is years and years and years of your life, and of course being a doctor is just my example, it's going to take years and years of your life, and likely any hobby or thing that you love or passion that you want to pursue is going to take lots and lots of your time. Guess what? It's going to be worth it in the end. You have to pursue it anyway. It's worth your time. It's going to take time. That's all I'm going to say. My next tip is to reward yourself when you reach your goals. You can do this in a couple of different ways. Reward yourself with small rewards every time you meet a small goal, or you can wait to reward yourself when you meet a larger goal with a larger reward. And this just wires your brain to associate reaching your goals with something positive and something happy. This is going to wire your brain to being having positive associations with meeting those goals, and then you're going to be more likely to want to pursue the goals and to reach the goals faster. Also, another tip is to picture how you're going to feel or what it's going to be like when you reach your goal. This is going to give you a good visualization of success, and you're going to really feel what it's going to be like when you reach your goal. So you're going to have that image in your head of what it's really like. And I think that it's important to always keep the big picture in mind, even though that you're going to be focusing on those small steps too. If you see the big picture and you see why you want this and how good it's going to feel once you get there, then I think you're going to be happier while you're on that path, and you're going to know that even though you're far away from your goal, or maybe it's going to take a long time or a lot of work, you're going to get there someday and it's going to be okay. So my next piece of advice is don't be so hard on yourself and to cut yourself some slack. This is something that I really have a hard time with. We are our harshest critics, and we give ourselves the hardest time on things when we don't meet our goals. Talk to yourself like you would talk to your friend. If you wouldn't talk to your friend that way, then don't say it to yourself. If you have a lofty goal and you don't meet it, forgive yourself and set maybe a smaller goal that's more reasonable and more manageable. Try again. Don't just give up. You're not going to meet your goals if you are constantly beating yourself down. And if you do this, you're never going to reach your fullest potential. And that is truly a tragedy if you're constantly beating yourself down. And I want to say I'm really not perfect at this. I'm saying this speaking to you and speaking for myself, because I know that I have dealt with this, and this has been my worst struggle, is to beat down on myself and not give myself credit for the things I do good. And so I just wanted to tell you out there, recognize when you talk negatively to yourself, because it can really hurt you, and it can really self-sabotage your dreams and your goals, and not to mention your confidence. And life is too short to do that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself. I'll get off my soapbox now. So my next tip is to have an outlet. And what I mean by an outlet is like something creative that works your mind in a way that's different from your day-to-day life, like your work and maybe even your schooling. I know for me, I do a lot in nutrition, of course, because that's what my future career is. That's what I'm going to school for. But sometimes I need something different, something that's not nutrition. Even though I love it and it's my passion, I need something that's getting me out of the box and getting me out into the world and doing different things. And so Right now I'm doing YouTube and just trying to create videos, and that's a little bit of an outlet for me. I also like to read. I like to get addicted to a Netflix show, but some people like to do photography. Some people, they write in a journal. Some people write creatively. So you can do whatever you want that makes you happy. And my boyfriend, he paints. You can probably see the edge of the painting right now, but there's so many different things. And if you think you're not creative, I challenge you to do something creative, because everyone is creative. You just have to let it out, and you have to let yourself be shamelessly creative before you can actually be creative. But everyone has a creative side, so don't let that get in your way. My last little spiel is to check your posture. We have such a big mind to body connection that sometimes we fail to see. What I mean is, pay attention to your body language when you are unmotivated. Slouching, you're probably frowning a little bit, or at least you're not smiling. Your body's slumped over, your shoulders are forward. You have all these like signs of someone who's depressed and someone who's upset. And so the opposite is true when you're confident. Your back is straight, your shoulders are pressed back, you have a smile on your face maybe, and you look and feel confident. And so when you feel unmotivated, check yourself and see if you are slouching. And if you're slouching, then you can just straighten up, put a smile on your face, and fake it till you make it, because we can trick our minds by using our bodies to just fake it for a little while until we feel a little bit better. If that makes sense. It's so true. And something too that I've been trying lately is meditation app. If you haven't tried guided meditation before, I really love it. I put some headphones in and I just turn it up and I sit alone and I listen to a guided meditation. I use the app called Buddhify. I'll link it below. And it's like a $3 app, but it's the best app I've ever bought in my life. And also I use the little breathing app on my new Apple Watch. My boyfriend is the sweetest person on earth, and he just got me this as a early Valentine's Day present. It has a little breathing app on that. Let me know if you want to hear more about my Apple Watch and what my thoughts are and how I use it for nutrition, fitness, and stuff like that. So I use different apps to help me stay mindful and everything, and I'm also trying to reread Intuitive Eating, and also I can link that below. But it's a really good book that helps you focus on paying attention when you're eating, drinking, and doing stuff, because a lot of times we do this really mindlessly. I feel like that's gonna be a video soon, is talking about mindful and intuitive eating. I really love that topic. Tell me if you are interested in that topic too. Thank you so much for joining me today. Kind of was like a tips and tricks, but also like a kind of a coffee talk. Tell me what other topics that you want to hear about as far as anything goes. It can be motivation, inspiration, anxiety, fears, or anything like that. Anything you're dealing with school, I love to talk about it. So just let me know in the comments below what kind of videos you would like a coffee talk to talk about. And thanks so much for stopping by. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and also just leave a comment and subscribe to my channel if you want to watch more videos like this. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you in the next video. I seriously just wanted to do a coffee talk because I have coffee. I love coffee. I'll make a 5-second video on how to stay motivated in life. Just drink coffee. Just drink coffee all the day long.